10 of the best affordable watches from 10 iconic watch brands. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Today I'm going to give you my favourite watch that is under the £500 mark from 10 of the biggest watch brands out there. And whether you're starting this watch hobby now or you've been doing it for some time, there will be a watch in this selection you are going to want to look at. Brands like Citizen, Seiko, and wait till the end because my Seiko choice you might not have expected. Swatch, Bulova. I even found a decent Tissot. No, it wasn't a PRX. So, get your pen and get a notepad out. You are gonna wanna write these down. Are you affordable watch ready? Let's go. Right, let's start with a bang, shall we? With the brand Bulova. Now, they've been around for a long time, and right now they have some fantastic offerings, such as the Lunar Pilot, the Super Seville that has recently come out, the Oceanographer, the Devil Diver. I mean, let's not talk about the range of plastic watches, the snorkels they've just brought out that are around £300. Let's pretend they didn't do that. Anyway, recently I've delved really deep into the history of Blancpain, particularly their 50 Fathoms. That watch was made in the 50s, and at the time, Bulova made something very similar. It was a watch that was never going to be available to the public, but it was one that was created for a contract for the US Navy. Now, unfortunately, Bulova did not win the contract, and that watch was forgotten about until very recently, when a hardened Bulova collector walked into their HQ and showed them this prototype not even Bulova had heard of. Anyway, they brought it back, and I am talking about the mill ships. And for anyone that wants that Blancpain 50 Fathoms feel or vibe, this is the perfect watch. I mean, it feels and looks more like a 50 Fathoms than a modern day 50 Fathoms. Now, when it was released a couple of years ago, it was around £800. Now, you can find this watch for under £500. And if I was to buy a Bulova, this would definitely be the one I get. And I actually do regret selling mine. Recently, the company have celebrated their 150th anniversary, and they brought out a couple of mill ship limited editions that I have also fancied. There were a couple of quirks that you had to get round. It's a 41mm diameter case, but the lug width is only 16 mils. Now, Bulova, owned by the Citizen Group, who own Miyota, have an 8000 series automatic engine powering this watch, which was a little bit of a letdown. The 9000 series movements are far more refined, so that's something you have to get past too. But 40 hours power reserve, 200 meters water resistant, the bezel was phenomenal, you had to push it in before twisting. Honestly, for me, the best Bulova I've ever had in my hands. And you know what? I'll probably get it again soon.
This watch hobby's a killer.
Citizen! Yeah! You guys out there know my not-so-love relationship I have with this brand. I have just never found a connection with any of their designs, most of them anyway. I do like the Pro Masters, and the automatic ones with the Miyota 8000 series inside them are still pretty affordable, but I do currently own a Citizen, and that is the phenomenal beast, the Aqualand. This beautiful diver that is a digital depth alarm just looks like a cool, affordable Seamaster Pro Prof. Bead blasted case, great 60-click bezel, 200 meters of water resistance. This puppy is quartz, but it's Citizen quartz, you know? This is never gonna let you down. Yes, from left to right, the case size is just over 50 millimeters. The lug to lug is around 50 millimeters, and it's about 14.8 millimeters thick. But look at it, it's cool, isn't it? Love the dial to this thing, love the finishing. There is maybe two things I don't like about this watch. That is the lug width, which is 24 millimeters, and the supplied strap. That is about as stiff as a stiff man's stiff bits. Now, recently the Aqualand has had a bit of a birthday, and Citizen have released a couple of anniversary versions of the Aqualand. This one you can still find for around £300, which is slightly cheaper than what I paid for it. Anyway, 40 years of history with this watch. It's my token Citizen in the watch collection, and I'm pretty damn proud of it. Number 3, the watch community's favourite cigarette packet logo, Orient. Super value for money watches, in-house automatic movements. If I had the choice between any Orient ever, it would always be a diver. You know, you got the likes of the Ray 2 or the Mako. I've had them all in my hands, and my favorite is still the Casio. Just a fantastic looking watch with inspirations of all the best dive watches from the past 2, 3, 4 decades, put in this great Orient package. The Fume style dial one that I reviewed, you can get for around £230. What I love about this compared to the Ray is the dial. I prefer the indices on this, as well as the big arrow hour hand. But with a 41mm diameter, 46mm lug to lug, anyone can wear this watch. Powered by an in-house automatic movement, this watch is as reliable, in my opinion, as a Seiko. I have never heard anyone say anything bad about an Orient's movement. For anyone that is just starting their watch journey and looking for a good diver that maybe isn't a Seiko, the Casio is a watch that will stay in your collection for a long time. Next up, we come to Swatch. Yes, the brand that was formed back in the 70s and 80s by the Swiss watchmaking giants to bring in some of that lovely quartz money, you know? Now, back in the 80s and 90s, my mum bought a lot of Swatch watches, but the watch I remember deep etched in my brain was the jellyfish ones. The clear strap and the clear case, showing off that quartz movement that has a bit of colour to it. You can still buy this watch in a 34mm or a 41, bio-sourced resin, good ethics Swatch. And I think this is a great pickup, whack on your wrist and go watch. Yes, there's only 30 meters of water resistance, but you're not taking this swimming. On Amazon, it's around £70. It's not the cheapest quartz watch you can buy, that's for sure, but an iconic look for £70, that's pretty good.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Right, Casio. And I could have picked 100, couldn't I? But the one watch I always come back to and I'm always recommending, because you can still buy this for around £22, £23, is the AE 1200. A world time watch with beautiful symmetry, with a modern size to it, 100 meters of water resistance, 10-year battery life, LED backlight, stopwatch countdown timer, and a superb world time function. This watch looks far more sophisticated than it actually is, but that's what we love about Casio. If you haven't bought one of these watches yet, well, you must not like digital. And that's fine, but you're missing out. Next up comes Timex! And I could have picked 100 of these as well, particularly as I do love the Q Timex range, as they harness all the good bits from their previous models. And today's choice is no different. I'm going to show off the Enigma, a watch that was first released back in 1975, and it was nicknamed the Mystery Dial. Born from a vision to give off the illusion that the hands were floating on the dial, thanks to a little navy dot right in the middle of the hand stack. I dig the 70s case. I love the fact they used acrylic for the crystal because it gives that warm, milky vintage look. I love the colour of the blue. I dig the size. It's 37mm in diameter, 20mm lug width, only 12mm thick. Yes, it's only 50mm water resistant, but that's going to be perfectly fine from whatever you want to give it. This is quartz based, but it is Timex quartz based, so again, very reliable. And for £170, I think it is pretty cool. Right, it had to be done. Tissot. They have started going up in price, there's no denying it. Being a brand that's owned by the Swatch Group, it was inevitable. The brand has more become the PRX brand, more than Tissot these days. But I have to admit, people, Tissot have made a nice watch. And surprise, surprise, it's based on an old vintage watch of theirs. This is the PR516. 38mm, 11mm thick, sapphire glass protecting the dial. And the big news for me, there's no T on the counterbalance seconds hand. That really bugs me. This watch is powered by the Powermatic 80, and it being a Powermatic 80 means you can't have a fiddle with this engine without sending it to Tissot. This movement can't be regulated by anyone else, but I really do like the look of this watch, and I can just about forgive the fact that the bezel is fixed. Had there been a bit of a grip on that bezel,
oh, I would have been annoyed.
I think overall Tissot have done a great job of reissuing this watch, and I have found it recently for around the £500 mark. For anyone that wants to get into Tissot and doesn't want to go down the PRX route, I think this is a great option. Next up, Gshock. Now for the DW6900, it's having a birthday this year. It's the 30th anniversary of its release. And Gshock have been making quite a few versions of this DW6900. I particularly love the one that looks just like the original one released. It has basic functions, doesn't have solar power or atomic timing, and that's going to cost you £99. Ironically, the GW6900 that has been around for quite some time, that has solar power and multiband 6, on Amazon right now, it's £81. It doesn't look like the original, isn't a 30th anniversary edition, but it's basically still the same looking watch, but with those extra features. As this is a special year for the 6900, and the fact it's a blooming icon, let's go with that one today, shall we? Number 9, and it is Hamilton. And yes, people, you can still find Hamilton watches for under £500. I know it's hard to believe,
Because they are skyrocketing quicker than my electric bill right now.
I found a great little khaki scuba at none other than TK Maxx, and at almost half the price, 37mm in diameter, so not the biggest, and this thing is quartz based, sapphire glass, and a Hamilton, pretty darn good. However, my top choice would be the khaki field quartz. Really love the dial, based on a British military dial, Hamilton made in the 60s, 38mm in diameter, only 8.3mm thick. This watch is around £375 on the fabric strap, but now you can buy this watch on the stainless steel and it is £425. Possibly a tad too expensive for me, however it looks really good. Definitely a watch I'm always looking out for in case I see any more discounts, and with the sapphire glass, it's a perfect everyday watch. Ha-ha! Well done for reaching the end. We have come to number 10, and it is my favourite brand of the bunch, Seiko. So there are many Seikos out there I could recommend to you, but deep down I have to admit, if I had no Seikos and wanted to get my first one and it was under £500, it's the SNJ025. It's the Seiko Ani. This watch has been £420 for the last 5 years. And while the other Seikos have gone up in price, this has still remained the same. But for what you get, the package of this watch, it's incredible. It's a reissue of the H558, which was the first Ana-Digi alarm dive watch, and it was bought and worn by Arnold Schwarzenegger and used on several iconic films. This watch has had a massive upgrade since then, with solar power and phenomenal tactile screw down pushers, phenomenal silicone strap. It is a big watch at 47mm in diameter. However, it's almost the same lug width due to those very tiny lugs that pop out of the tuna case. A watch I never thought I'd be able to pull off, seeing as though I've only got a 6.5-inch wrist, but I absolutely love it. And apart from the obvious choices like the SKX that you can't buy anymore, and the Willards that are way over £500, and the fact that the Mini Turtle is no longer made, the SNJ025 is my Seiko pick. And if you buy it, you'll love it. So there we go, 10 phenomenal watches from 10 outstanding brands. And I think I've done pretty good there, haven't I? Let me know in the comments below, do you own any of these watches? And if you've got a favourite pick from this brand I haven't mentioned. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector channel, well, we've got a Patreon now. See the shows early, blooper reels, behind the scenes content, and get your name credited at the end of every show, like these lovely lot. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, and I hope I have, why don't you check this one out? Oh, look at Miss Seiko there. That's lovely, isn't it? Go on, click it, you'll love it, honestly. This is a great one. This is a great one. Honestly, click, click it.